Mary's family home, nestled in the bustling village of Asaba, was alive with the sounds of chatter and laughter. The elders sat under the shade of a large mango tree, discussing the upcoming wedding with enthusiasm. Mary, the bride-to-be, sat quietly in her room, staring at her reflection in the mirror. Her mind was a whirlwind of thoughts. "Are you not happy, my daughter?" her mother, Mama Chioma, asked as she walked in. Mary forced a smile. "I am, Mama." Mama Chioma placed a hand on her daughter's shoulder. "Lucas is a good man. He has wealth, and he will take care of you." Mary nodded but remained silent. Deep down, she knew she was walking into a marriage devoid of love. Lucas, a wealthy businessman in his early 40s, was everything Mary detested in a man. He was short, dark-skinned, and, in her eyes, unattractive. But Lucas was rich, and that was enough reason for Mary to say yes. The wedding day was a grand affair. The whole village gathered to witness the union. Mary, dressed in an expensive white gown imported from abroad, walked down the aisle with grace. Lucas's face lit up with joy as he saw her. To him, she was the epitome of beauty and perfection. Mary, on the other hand, wore a mask of pretense, smiling and laughing as the day demanded. As the priest pronounced them husband and wife, Lucas's heart swelled with love and pride. He believed Mary shared the same feelings. He had no idea she had only agreed to marry him for his wealth. Life in their luxurious mansion in Lagos began with promises of happiness. Lucas spared no expense in ensuring Mary was comfortable. He bought her the latest clothes, jewelry, and even a brand new car. But no matter how much he showered her with gifts, Mary felt trapped. Mary resented everything about Lucas. She hated his looks, his height, and even his voice. She spent her days sulking or talking to her friends about how much she disliked him. "Why did you marry him then?" her friend Ada asked one afternoon as they sipped cold drinks by the pool. Mary shrugged. "Because he's rich. I couldn't miss the chance to live like a queen." Ada shook her head but said nothing more. She understood Mary's frustration but felt it was unwise to speak against her choice. Lucas remained oblivious to Mary's feelings. He believed their marriage was a partnership built on love and mutual respect. One day, while Lucas was away on a business trip to the United States, Mary's boredom led her to the garden. There, she met Charles, a tall and handsome young man who lived next door. Charles was everything Lucas was not. He was charming, funny, and had the kind of physique that made Mary's heart skip a beat. Their first meeting was brief, but it left a lasting impression on Mary. Over the next few days, they began spending more time together. Charles would visit the mansion under the guise of helping Mary with her garden. Their conversations soon turned into flirtations, and before long, they became lovers. Mary felt alive whenever she was with Charles. She could laugh, flirt, and be herself without pretense. She forgot about Lucas and the constraints of her marriage whenever Charles was around. Mary's affair with Charles grew deeper with each passing day. They developed a routine that revolved around Lucas's business trips. The moment Lucas left for the airport, Mary would call Charles, and he would come over with a wide grin on his face. One evening, as they sat in the garden under the starry sky, Charles asked, "Do you ever think about leaving him?" Mary sighed, twirling the wine glass in her hand. "It's not that simple. Lucas is wealthy. Without him, my life would go back to," she hesitated, thinking about her modest upbringing. Charles took her hand in his. "You deserve to be happy, Mary. Money isn't everything." His words warmed her heart, but Mary knew she wasn't ready to give up the comfort Lucas provided. The affair continued, becoming bolder as they grew more confident in their secrecy. They would spend afternoons at a secluded beach outside the city, walking hand in hand along the shore. Charles often brought her small gifts, a bouquet of wildflowers, a sexy underwears, or a box of her favorite chocolates. These gestures, though simple, touched Mary in ways Lucas's expensive gifts never did. At home, Mary became more careful. She double-checked her phone to ensure no incriminating messages or calls remained. She kept her appearances with Lucas flawless, attending social events with him and playing the role of a loving wife. Lucas remained blissfully unaware, his trust in Mary unwavering. One afternoon, as Mary and Charles lay on Mary's matrimonial bed, she asks, "Do you think we'll ever get caught, after they have had 3 rounds of knacking?" Charles chuckled, brushing a strand of hair from her face. "Only if you let your guard down. But don't worry, I always protect you, okay? Aside me, who will knack you this way? See the way you're mourning for me. Don't play, babe." His reassurance made her feel invincible, but Ada's warnings lingered in the back of her mind. "Mary, you're playing a dangerous game," Ada had said. "One day, Lucas might find out, and it won't end well." Mary dismissed the thought. As long as she was careful, Lucas would never know. She continued taking precautions to ensure she wouldn't get pregnant, visiting a discreet pharmacy to buy the necessary medications. She couldn't bear the idea of having a child with Lucas. "I don't want ugly children," she told Ada during one of their conversations. "Imagine my friends laughing at me." "No, it's better this way." The affair gave Mary a sense of freedom she hadn't felt in years. Yet, beneath the excitement and passion lay a growing tension. Each stolen moment with Charles was a gamble, and Mary's perfect facade as Lucas's devoted wife could crumble at any moment. Lucas returned from his latest trip earlier than expected. He entered the house quietly, hoping to surprise Mary. As he walked upstairs, he heard faint laughter and moaning coming from the bedroom. Yes. Yes. Oh, ouch, wow, Hada babe. Babe, you are the sweetest. His heart sank as he pushed the door open to find Mary and Charles together. The scene froze Lucas in place. Mary gasped, scrambling to cover herself while Charles jumped out of the bed. Lucas's face twisted with anger and betrayal. "Mary, what is this?" he demanded, his voice trembling. Unable to speak, Mary looked away, tears streaming down her face. Charles grabbed his clothes and bolted, leaving Mary and Lucas alone in the room. Lucas stood there for what felt like an eternity, his mind racing. "After everything I've done for you, this is how you repay me," he finally said, his voice breaking. "I'm sorry," Mary whispered, but her apology felt hollow. Lucas turned and left the room, slamming the door behind him. For the first time in his life, he felt truly powerless. He had loved Mary with all his heart, and she had betrayed him. The days that followed were filled with silence. Lucas refused to speak to Mary, instead focusing all his energy on his work. Mary tried to reach out to him, but he ignored her. The house, once filled with laughter and joy, became a cold and empty shell. Mary confided in Ada, who scolded her. "I warned you, Mary. You've destroyed your marriage, and for what? A fling." "I didn't mean for it to go this far," Mary said, her voice trembling. "I just wanted to feel alive." Meanwhile, Lucas began consulting a lawyer. He couldn't imagine staying in a marriage built on lies. The betrayal was too much to bear. He filed for divorce, shocking Mary. "I'll make sure you live with nothing," Lucas said when he finally confronted her. "You don't deserve any of this." Mary pleaded with him, but Lucas's mind was made up. He had loved her deeply, but her actions had shattered his trust. The divorce was finalized quickly. Mary moved out of the mansion and returned to her parents' home in Asaba. The villagers whispered about her fall from grace, and Mary struggled to adjust to her new reality. Lucas focused on rebuilding his life. He poured his energy into his business and eventually found solace in helping others. He began funding community projects, earning respect and admiration from those around him. Mary, on the other hand, was forced to confront her mistakes. She found a job in a small shop and began to rebuild her life from scratch. Though the road was difficult, she learned valuable lessons about love, respect, and the consequences of her actions. In the end, both Mary and Lucas found a sense of peace. Their paths diverged, but their experiences shaped them into stronger individuals. While their marriage ended in heartbreak, it served as a powerful reminder of the importance of honesty and true love.